All right, greetings. Welcome back to Blackbird News, where everything is connected. How y'all doing? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Moderna wood, yeah. Isn't it good? Moderna. I like that. I like the switch up on the lyrics. Oswami. Yeah, interesting that they're going forward with the mRNA vaccines against pandemic flu threats, even though all the the fallout from the COVID shots is just starting to roll. I mean, it's already been rolling, but it's picking up momentum. The fallout from the COVID shots, and what's up, Art? How you doing? Glad you could catch me live. Hello, everyone. Oswami, Denver, William. What's up, y'all? Starting on time, so I know people are confused. They'll get here eventually. So, anyways, we got a lot of things to cover, and that's what we're going to do. Since we're covering the news, not the new, hopefully new news. So where do we start? We start at the beginning. As the saying goes. If you don't know where to start at the beginning. Something like that. It's pretty good. I've seen this before, but it's funny.
Just don't understand, how do you not believe in any conspiracy theories? I understand not all of them, not most of them, but you don't believe in any conspiracy theory? You just think the government's just batting 1,000 and telling us the whole truth? That's a strong stance to take. And again, as I said before, I don't like talking about politics on stage or off stage. I don't like talking about things I don't feel like I'm truly knowledgeable in. But I do know this. Our government is placed in charge of all of its people. I'm a father who's been placed in charge of just one son. And I lie to that all the time.
That's funny. It's hilarious, and everybody's a conspiracy theorist on something, right? Certainly, all the lately it's the liberals or Democrats or those folks who are just like, you're a conspiracy theorist, who like to wield the pejorative of conspiracy theorists. And they even who was it recently in the congressional hearing or a cabinet appointing hearing where they trotted out the term conspiracy theorist against RFK Jr. And he said, no, that's interesting to say. But now that Trump's in office, the left is full, they got all the conspiracies, right? They're firm believers in conspiracies now. Somebody did like this, and Elon did like this, and gave him a lot of money, and all the people, and they got all the theories. It's conspiracy. See how easy it is to believe that somebody's conspiring to do something? Pretty easy. When Epstein died, I didn't see one person who believed that story. So everyone was a 100% conspiracy theorist on Epstein. So it's weird for me. It's weird to me to see some people, they like to pick and choose what to get all upset about. You what? You said what? Oh, that's crazy. Oh, okay. Is it? Is it crazy? Or is it crazy not to think about it? I'm a fan of, giving room for things to be talked about. Conspiracies are literally scientific, the idea that something is untoward is going on is literally a scientific stance to take. Like a theory is scientific. Science starts with a theory. So if you're not allowed to have a theory, you're not allowed to do science or investigation on a scientific way. So science starts with a theory. All theories are welcome. And then you go, then you go about disproving the theory. But the theory itself there's nothing wrong, against. I have nothing against it, and there's nothing wrong with it. All right. There's an eel that has surfaced. Actually, a few eels have surfaced. Several eels have surfaced. Breaking 911. The rarely seen deep sea eel known as an oarfish has washed ashore in Mexico. Legend has it that this creature, known as the doomsday fish, only surfaces from the depths of the ocean when something catastrophic is going to happen. I don't know if it's an eel. Maybe it's just a fish that looks like an eel, kind of. Here's another one. Doomsday fish returns to Southern California shores for the third time this year. That is massive and very scary looking. Somebody says California wildfire started a month later after this fish washed up. But this has been an ongoing story. There's been a lot of formerly deep sea organisms, fish, what have you, surfacing, which means that something is deeply wrong with the planet. And I'm sure people have all kinds of theories about it, but the most basic and simple one would be that the oceans are no longer functioning as they should. There's less food, less prey available. A lot of it is due to stratification and or warming, where things are not supposed to be. Things are supposed to be a certain temperature, and now that's shifted. So everything is, slowly tilting towards chaos. And these fish are surfacing, for probably multiple reasons. To find, a lack of food, lack of stable habitat, etc. And so the doom can be coming from several places, but let's keep going. I really, really, really appreciated this post. Shout out to socialism from Revolutionary Blackout. Capitalism is a dog shit system that is designed to crash every 5 years in order to facilitate a transfer of wealth to the top. When was the last economic crash or last transfer of wealth to the top? About 5 years ago. Uh-oh. This is as designed. The only way to stop this is with socialist revolution and militant class solidarity. It's the reason why the capitalist class pushes culture wars to keep us distracted as they rob us blind. I really appreciated that statement. We need socialist programs. We need socialist ways of thinking. We need socialism. We need solidarity. From the working class to the top, against the top, right? Not left versus right, not white versus black, not man versus woman. We need to unite in a common goal of having our needs met and being, living in a dignified manner. And also, perhaps collectively stopping the destruction of the planet, which the people in charge are pushing every day, the destruction of the planet. And they're trying to get you to pay for it, the destruction of the planet, and then probably trying to get you to pay to clean it up or fix it. Or help in the endeavor. But yes, we were talking yesterday about taxing the wealthy, and when did we used to have a good, more socialist minded tax policy in place where we tax the wealthy an extreme amount. And that, people back then, people had like free college, better or cheaper healthcare. I mean, we've never had free healthcare, but people had living wages. People could work one job and buy a house and support a whole family on one wage, stuff like that. Had strong unions, stuff like that. We don't have that anymore. And all of that is being pushed all of that is by design. It was, pushed away. All these socialist systems came into place in the middle of the last century to protect people. And that's when, that's when people were living the life. That's when things were really good. That's the most recent great America that everybody wants to return to. And they don't realize that they've been propagandized into thinking that the government is bad, can't do anything for you. They're the enemy. We need less government, all, more and more cuts to taxes, for the wealthy, because that will trickle down. And that's been going on since Reagan. Trickle down to us. And, slashing social services and social safety nets, and more wars, less income equality, your wages go down, your buying power goes down, inflation goes up, nobody can afford anything anymore. On and on and on and on it goes. Yeah, free COVID shots, right? Free vaxes. Ooh, thanks. It's a mess. It's a mess, and it's because everybody's given up on having agency over what our government can do for us. If we take back the reins of power and suggest to each other that maybe we might have the power to change how things work, then maybe we could start changing things so that they work for us. I mean, on some levels, people are trying to, I don't know. I'm trying to just report what I see, as unbiased as possible. So, there are a lot of channels out there, independent and otherwise, who are going, go hard against criticizing what Trump is doing or what they might be up to. But there's several journalists out there who, are pointing out that some of the things that they're stating, again, most of this is words until they actually turn into policy, are stating things that are more, at least, populist and more in the service of returning the country back, in some shape or form, serving the people rather than the, I don't believe it necessarily for a second, but the idea is correct, right? The idea is correct. I saw somebody the other day post on Facebook, like, all right, you guys, this is what we got to do as Democrats. We got to, basically lists the platform of more socialism for the Democratic Party to actually be a socialist, a more public, social serving party rather than a corporate serving party. Lots of things, free healthcare and, restoration of rights and human rights and, all kinds of stuff. But all stuff that is great, I saw him posting this. He's like, all right, this is what we got to do. The next, election, we got to really make sure that the candidate has this. And I was like, have you been paying attention? Yes, I like all of this is great, but you're going to have to do more than get in a voting booth for this to happen. I'm sorry to tell you that. All right. Sorry if you haven't figured that out yet, because they will not allow the Democratic Party as it exists will never, ever, ever in a million years allow somebody with a platform like that to get even close to the stage, or even if they allow them on stage. What they did was amazing during the 2020 Democratic Party primary. It was amazing, because the bait and switch the Democratic Party did was get everybody on stage talking about Bernie's quasi-socialist platform, reformist platform. Everybody was like, Medicare for all, yeah, tax the rich, yeah, get out of the wars, yeah, let's do all this stuff, right? And then they had everybody just vocalizing all the stuff that everybody was like, yeah, sounds good. And they were like, how about Biden? They said they were never going to allow anything like that to get close to the White House. But they did a good job of letting people feel like, oh, you could talk about it. Yeah, these are great ideas. Which is, what a lot of people are saying about what the Trump administration is doing right now is like, promoting and proposing all these really super, awesome ideas. And everybody's like, yes, this is great. We love this. However, they're not doing it in a presidential run. They're actually doing it as an administration, which is one step further than the Democrats can ever do. They can only talk about it during a presidential run and then, slam the door shut. No, we won't be having that. No, thank you. Anyway, so, to my friend who posted this, I was like, I love those ideas. Keep them going. But we're going to have to we're not going to get that from the Democratic Party. And if you think that, you haven't been paying attention to the last 3 decades. You haven't been paying attention at all. At all. And if you really want that to happen in the Democratic Party, you're going to have to literally hold them hostage. You're going to have, and the way that you do that is you band together and say, like, this is what we want from the Democratic Party, and we will vote for this kind of candidate only. And if we don't get this candidate, we will all leave the party and vote whoever, Republican, whoever. We're all going to go in a group, and you will lose, you will lose, you will lose, you will continue losing, you will lose everything. That's it. Am I negative? I don't know. Am I negative? Do you think I'm negative? I don't know. Anyways, this is what I see. I'm trying to give people my unvarnished, unbiased opinion. Oh, but let's look at this. The thing that I wanted to look at this article. BlackRock says, get ready for a recession unlike anything anybody's ever seen. That's scary. BlackRock, huh? Well, this is from a few years ago. So, in 2022, this was from this article is from 2022. I don't know. Do you want to look at it? It's pretty old. BlackRock says, get ready for a recession unlike any other, and what worked in the past won't work now. The global economy has entered a period of elevated volatility, and previous investing approaches won't work anymore. Buy precious metals, I guess. I mean, I think crypto is cool for like short runs here and there, but I wouldn't even put any money in crypto right now. I'd probably put money in some hard physical assets, which is why gold is going up. Anyways, they were, calling a recession 2 years ago. Some people think we're already in a recession. In fact, that probably would be correct, even though nobody's allowed to really say the word out loud. Yeah, so they can buy everybody's house. Yeah. The rights of nature should be number one, says Fred. Yeah. Right, said Fred. The U.S. is deeming the cartels terrorist organizations. That's interesting because a lot of the cartels are wrapped up with our own intelligence agencies. Have deep ties to anyways. Well, or it's organized crime, and organized crime is all up in the U.S. government and intelligence agencies, and we know this. So they're declaring It's kind of like calling Al Qaeda a terrorist organization. We fund it. We started it. We made it. We made it up. ISIS. We made it. Cheers. And we call all these terrorists are terrible, right? All these cartels, they're terrible. I heard it proposed the other day that it was very likely or imminent that the U.S. could invade Mexico in the next few years. Anything's, nothing is off the table. It's weird, getting weird, and it's going to get weirder. And could they use the cartels as a pretense? Remember, right after Trump took office, there was a firefight, like an open shooting match between the Border Patrol and supposedly cartel members. So they, it's like the playbook, right? You paint them as terrorist organizations, then then we got to go in and give some people some democracy. Maybe we will be invading Mexico sometime soon. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't own the house I lived in, Fred, so I have nothing to say about that. I'll take a buyout, but I don't own anything to buy out. But there, my whole street is going to rebuild. Is the word on the street is that everyone's rebuilding. So nobody's accepting any buyouts as of yet, unless we'll see if any roadblocks go up, hurdles happen. But they seem to be doing pretty prompt work on getting people going. So, so far, so good. Well, I should have linked this with the eel, but this is another, literal canary in the coal mine of how Earth systems are not looking good, because this is happening all the time now, right? Along with floods, fires, droughts, hurricane, cyclones. We have a lot of, whales beaching, fish kills, fish die-offs in a lot of places. Mass stranding of more than 150 suspected false killer whales at Arthur River in Tasmania's far northwest. Authorities confirm the 136 are still alive. Should the doomsday clock be moved? I mean, yeah, what are we, 90 seconds from midnight or 89? 89. They moved it 1 second forward. That what a ridiculous show of concern. But we might be more like 30 seconds from midnight, but who knows? That sounds doomy, doesn't it? So, I mean, I really do think that we have temperature is escalating beyond the normal line, and we have all these severe weather events escalating. The many weather events happening, and I think things are just going to get weirder. Definitely on the climate front, it's just going to get very strange. Severe flooding due to extreme rainfall in Gaborone, Botswana. Just showing. Just the heavy rains triggered floods in Pattaya, Thailand. Just giving the overview of what's going on around the world. I mean, I'm down for conspiracies surrounding weather driving certain disasters, and those disasters being maybe for a particular outcome. Like I'm open to the theories, but to say that they're all manufactured or generated is it's a little bit silly. Because to have this many, major disasters going on worldwide speaks to something else going on. Like there's too much energy in the system. The Earth's energy imbalance is showing. Excuse me. Aishish Joshi posting this one: massive methane leaks detected in Antarctica, posing potential risks for global warming. Spanish scientific expedition has discovered columns of gas emerging from the seabed. Geologists also warn about the possibility of huge landslides that could generate tsunamis. And he says we're not going to be able to keep climate change within a safe limit. We're outside of the safe limit already. That's what they won't tell you. They're not blaring this on the mainstream media, on the mainstream news, although they are saying that there's a high chance that an asteroid might hit us in 2032, right? In 2032, there's an elevated chance that we might get hit by an asteroid. But they won't tell you that we have already passed the guardrail, the climate change guardrail. We passed it long ago. It's way back in the rearview mirror. It's behind the last mountain range that we passed. You're in the Sam Mitchell camp? What is that? What's the Sam Mitchell camp? We are WASF. I get it. Or that's where you're going with that, I think. Denver says, I suspect Shine Bomb of Mexico is an Israeli plant. The U.S.-Mexico news is all Hollywood theater, basically, and scripted. Yeah, possibly. Maybe she's there to facilitate a union. The North American Union. Right? We roll into Mexico looking for cartels, something else, something. Oh, hey, why don't you join us? Join us. Come join us, and we will rule the empire. Sorry. We are not going to avoid catastrophic social and environmental breakdown leading to suffering and death on an unimaginable scale. We need to be clear and honest about this. We must not sell fantasies. Yeah, well, thanks, Aishis. Thanks for being clear and honest. That's truth. That is absolute truth. Y'all. And unfortunately, people are being super propagandized around this. And it's hard to even have the conversation about it, but some people get it. Man, Detroit, did y'all see this in Detroit is looking, oh man, I don't know how people are surviving in this. or how people. I don't know how people are dealing with this. Detroit flooded and then froze. So there was a huge water main that broke in southwestern Detroit. Huge water main flooded the entire area, and then it froze. Man, that sucks. Like that has got to be, that's brutal. What are the people doing here? How are they surviving this? Obviously, Detroit is a very depressed area already, and yikes. Okay. So I'm letting you guys know I'm going to jump off YouTube soon, and we're all going to go to Rockfin and Rumble, or whoever wants to go to Rockfin and Rumble. We'll do the rest of the show. I have a large section of COVID fallout news, and I just don't want to do it on YouTube. So we're going to talk about this story, and as we do that, you guys can make ready to jump over to another channel, but I'm about to jump off of YouTube in a few seconds. But from Jimmy Dore, some of the news around what Trump is doing is interesting and also, and applaudable. The guy who recommended you should have 6 to 11 servings of Fruit Loops daily is so upset that he's decided to stop recommending you and your children eat poison and instead just quit. Hooray. Jim Jones, head of FDA's food division, just resigned to protest President Trump's mass firings. Jim Jones is his name. And this is true and correct. The secret Republican plot to make liberals look like idiots, known as Operation Just Let Them Speak, is working. Yeah. Case in point, Chuck Schumer saying that like RFK wasn't qualified to be head of HHS because he hadn't been a pharma lobbyist or hadn't been a CEO at a pharma company, or he hadn't been a dirty inside little player. So he was unqualified. Like stuff like that, just doesn't really. Yeah. Oh, yes, I can put the Rockfin link. Yes, I'm just going to give you. This isn't going to really help you, but hold on one second. No. I want to give you the exact link. Hold on. We'll get there. We'll get there. Here we go. Here's the link for the Rockfin. It's also over on Rumble. Modern day Jonestown equals the entire USA. Jim Jones, the Kool-Aid guy. Yes. All right. There's a link for the Rockfin. All right. I'm going to jump off the YouTube now. So make ye merry way to Rumble or Rockfin. Give me a sec. It's so complicated. See you later. All right. So now YouTube is